Hello and welcome back to Friday Minis. Now, I've been using Python a ton on this channel and for my own projects, and yet what's cool about Python is that they keep adding new useful features to the language. Today, we're going to be talking about a feature that was introduced in Python 3.6, which is relatively recent in the overall lifetime of the Python programming language, and that would be the Fstrings. Now, up to this point, because I was trained in earlier versions of Python, I never used those. You see, the format operation as well as its predecessor, which looks like a percentage symbol, these were meant to help you put together strings. You have a string that works like a template, and the idea is you could specify a number of items which went in to fill up the template. That's all well and good, and that's a great way of putting a string together. But as mentioned, if you have multiple parameters, things start to get less and less readable. It's hard to correspond and know what variable goes where, and if you have things like formatting options, again, that makes things difficult to read. With Python 3.6, a new feature called the F-string was added, and here's what it looks like. Before writing a string, write the letter F, then continue with your quotation marks. Anywhere within the string is both your template as well as, a place for you to actually substitute in values, because at any point of time inside the string, put in a set of braces. Whatever lives inside the brace is basically any kind of Python statement. Whatever value is returned by the statement at the end of the day gets substituted directly into the string wherever you've written the braces. Isn't that cool? When I want to substitute things now, all I need to do is to mention the exact variable in which I want the value to come from within my braces. And that's it. The value gets substituted on the spot. Need to do a bit of math or string processing? No problem, just do it right there. Just do it inline. This is incredibly readable and so convenient. You're just writing a string and saying you want to poke stuff in certain places. Some have even found that this method is actually more optimized and more efficient than its predecessors, so that's another plus. What's cool also is that if you've been using functions from, say, format that does things like rounding off and creating spaces, you can do the same with the F-string. For example, if I wanted to round off a number, the same old syntax applies: colon, dot, followed by your rounding statement. In other words, this remains unchanged from your classic format statements. It's just a little bit cleaner because you're putting everything together. So yeah, this is so convenient that I've basically stopped using the other kinds of statements and just stuck to this. It's just so much cleaner, so much easier to understand. I mean, the only caveat I found, the only place in which it's possible to make mistakes is when quotation marks are involved. You see, because whatever you write within the braces are now technically inside of a string, you have to be aware of where the string boundaries are. For example, if I wanted to refer to an item out of a dictionary within those braces, I have to be careful not to use the same quotation marks as the string on the outside. Otherwise, these quotation marks will clash and bad things will happen. So that's one of the things that you need to look out for. Having said that, it's not too difficult to work around it because, just use the other quotation mark. Being Java trained, I'm very used to using double quotation marks on the outside, so if I need to mention other strings inside the braces, I'll just use single quotation marks in that context, and that seems to work perfectly well. So yeah, if you're a regular Python user and you use format strings, consider using F-strings a try. Perhaps you'll grow to love it like I have. Anyway, that's it. That's all there is for this episode of Friday Minis. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, you're watching 0612 TV with NERDfirst.net. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video and are feeling generous, a donation to this channel will be greatly appreciated. There's a link on screen and in the video description for more details. Meanwhile, please do like, comment and subscribe. This helps the channel tremendously and gives me the means to do more. Thank you once again, and I'll see you next time.